everyone, my name is Medha Bandari and I'm 13 years old. I'm based in Auckland, New Zealand, and I have started my journey in the tech world since I was 9 years old. It started off with a game development competition and I ended up winning third place. And over the years, I have gotten myself into Power BI, SQL Server, and Excel. And recently, I have started my own YouTube channel, and I am making a coding series for children from 5 to 9 years of age. In the future, I am planning to introduce more videos on Power BI and SQL Server. Recently, I have had the privilege to have won my first ever hackathon with my team called Draw This, and I have learned so many new things through that experience. Well, today I will be talking about the top 15 tips and tricks in Excel. I really hope you all take something away from this session. Please follow me on my Instagram, and if you have any feedback that you want to give personally, you can email me. And please subscribe to my channel. It's called NZ Tech Girl. Let's get into it. The tips and tricks that you'll be learning in this session are how to insert multiple lines, how to move rows and columns easily, finding the difference between two lists, how to use freeze panes, how to filter your data, using Flash and autofill, turning text to columns, using conditional formatting, and learning how the control tab keys work, and using the proper function, how to use the quick analysis, and how to remove duplicates, how to paste special, put images in charts, and how to insert screenshots into Excel. And the last one is just basically how the control and arrow keys can be used to make your job easier in Excel. First, we'll be starting off with inserting multiple rows. The data that I'm using is the police shootings data from Kaggle.com. I have given the link to the dataset under resources at the end of my PowerPoint. Usually when you want to insert one row or one column, then you come to whichever one you want to select. You select it and you right click and you press insert. The same goes with the column. You select, right click, click on insert, and you've inserted a column. But what if you want to insert multiple rows and columns? Well, you do the same thing. So first you start off by selecting one, and then you just drag it into how many you want. I am selecting 5, and then you just come to the top, you right click, insert. So I've just inserted 5 rows. And the same thing goes with columns. You select 1, and then you keep dragging and selecting, and then you right click and press insert, and you've inserted more columns. Tip number 2 is how to easily move rows and columns. Something that everyone does is copy and paste the rows and columns to move them. Now you don't need to do that. There is an easier way. All you need to do is select your column, wait till the cursor changes and drag it and put it and move it, and there we are. This even works for the row, so you select it and you wait till the cursor changes, you drag it to the bottom and it's wherever you want. Tip number 3 is how to find the difference between lists. In this data, I am comparing the manner of death and the armed of the people on 2 different days, and for the example I have put both the lists on one spreadsheet, but this will still work if your second data is on a different sheet. So what you start off by doing is selecting your first list and then holding down the control key and then selecting your second list. After that, go to conditional formatting at the top right and go to highlight cell rules, come down and click on duplicate values, and now you should change it to unique. So if you want, you can use a different color, yellow, and press OK. So what I've learned is that in the 2 days, the only new weapon that was used is the nail gun. Tip number 4 is how to filter your data. For the example, I'll be using how many females have been shot. So to know how many females have been shot, I'm going to highlight the top first row where the titles are, and up here I'm going to go to data, and underneath data there will be a button called filter. So click on filter, and I'm going to go underneath gender because that's obviously where the male and female are going to be, and I'm going to press the little down arrow and select only female and untick everything else and press OK. And so it gives the females, and down here it says that there are 238 females out of the 5,416 records that we have. You can also do this with any other one. So if you can do it the same with age. Just click on the arrow down, and I'm just going to untick everything. And maybe I want to know how many 12-year-olds have been shot. Okay, and there's only one 12-year-old that has been shot out of the 5,416 records. Trick number 5 is flash and autofill. This data that I'm using for this is just emails, and they're just random made up names. So flash and autofill just have a little bit of difference. Flash fill is when you type the name, James said, and then it automatically gives you the rest of the names, and all you have to do is just click enter, and then here you've got the rest of the names of the people. But autofill is a little bit different. So for example, if I type 1, you just wait for the little plus sign appears, you just drag it down there, for 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now autofill can also detect patterns. So for example, if you type 1 2, and then you select the bow, and then wait till the arrow appears, and then you just drag it down, and then here you've got the pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Tip number 6 is turning text to columns. For the example data for converting text to columns, I have used a random name data. So first, to convert text to columns, we go to data and we select our column, and we go text to columns. We click on text to columns, and we've got two choices, either delimited or fixed width. So I'll be showing you both of them. But first, delimited is basically when you have commas or spaces in the middle of your data, and we have that, so it's already ticked because it can detect it. And so once you, I'm just going to tick it again. Once we tick it, you can just go next and click finish, and there we go. The names are separated. Now the second option is fixed width. So again, you select it, text to columns, and fixed width. So we click on fixed width. Fixed width is basically when you can select where you want it to be. So it has a scale over here, and you can put the bar wherever you like. So I'll put it over here on 10. Go next. And finish, it cuts it off exactly where you put the mark. Trick number 7 is conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is usually used to apply a specific format to cells to let them meet a certain criteria. It is mostly a color-based format, and it highlights to find the difference among the data. For example, if we want to know how many people that have died are over the age of 40, we select the age column, go up to conditional formatting, which is underneath the home bar, and go to highlight cell rules. I'll click on greater than, and in here I will just type 40, I go OK, and it will highlight the cells that are over the age of 40. Now if you want to clear this, then you select it again, you go to conditional formatting, go clear rules, and clear rules from selected cells, because the ones that were selected are there. Now we have other options too, so top bottom rules. So if I want to know the top 10 ages, go top 10, and you can change it to top 9, top 8. I'm just going to keep it as top 10, and I'm going to change the color to green fill, go OK. If you go down, it will show you there are only a few top 10. So 86 is like this. And there's another one. 86 again. And that one was 83. So most of them are in the 80s. There again, if you want to clear it, go to clear rules and select clear rules from selected cells. Now, if we want to put data bars, you can put data bars in, go to that, and it just gives it a bit more visual representation. And you can even do color scales which just gives it more effect, and if you want to make it look pretty. Now for the last one in conditional formatting, which is icon sets, I have taken a different piece of data. And so how the icon sets works is basically first I will select 15, 10, and 5 because those are the values inside my table over here. So I will select them and then go to conditional formatting, and then I go to icon sets, and I will choose the light one for now, the traffic light one. And then what I want is I want the icon in these values to appear over here so that it has a visual representation of it. So I will select these numbers. I'll go to conditional formatting, and I'll go to icon sets, and I click traffic lights. And there we go, we've got the yellow representing the 10s, the green representing the 15, and the 5 representing the 5. If you want to change anything, you can go into manage rules, so which means you go back into conditional formatting and manage rules. Over here you click on edit rule, and then inside edit rule it has these random values and you can just change them in there. So this one is greater than or equal to, so mine, the green one in mine is 15, so it's either greater than or equal to 15. And over here has percent. You don't need a percent, you just click on number, and then you have to enter it here. And then the yellow light is for 10, so I have to first change the percent to a number, and then I will type in 10 here, and I press OK, OK, and mine will obviously say the same, but you can use that if you see any errors in your icons. Tip number 8 is learning about the Control Tab keys. Here's a trick for people who have multiple Excel tabs open. Usually people use the Alt tab buttons to switch over applications, but the Control tab lets you switch between the two worksheets. There, like that. So it goes back to the other one, and it comes back to the one with the police shootings. Trick number 9 is using the proper function. The proper function is used to convert the input text, the text that's already there, to proper case. So in the names that I have over here, they're not properly formatted as they don't have capital letters. So all you need to do for that is just go to the next cell and put the equal sign and type in proper. So here you get the proper, and then you select the cell, David Smith, and I will close the bracket and click enter, and you get the proper format. Now you can just drag it down, and there you go. You get the names with the proper format on the side. That is what the proper function is used for. Tip number 10 is the quick analysis tool. The quick analysis tool is used to make your analysis easier so that you don't have to go looking for buttons. It is really similar to conditional formatting, but it just has a little less options so that you can do it faster. So first you select the one that you want to analyze, and most people don't find this, but the quick analysis button is right here. So once you select it, it says quick analysis, and many people don't know it even though it's right in front of your eyes. So you can just click on it, and it has formatting. So in formatting I'm going to go greater than, and you can just type the date. I'm doing it with dates. You can do it with numbers and like many other things. I'll just type numbers that are greater than 6, 1, 15. Okay, and those are there. It also has charts, so you can insert. It has line charts, pie charts, bar charts. I'll just go for a simple bar chart. So that's how it turns out. And there are more too. You can go to totals, and in totals it can find, on sum the set, it finds the sum of the bottom row, and there and if you find the sum of that side, it finds the sum of the row on the other side. So if you get hashtags like that when you put it like that, it just means that you need to expand the length of your column. And so it also has tables, so you can make a table out of here, format it as a table, and the last one is sparklines. So, well, we have this in the way, but columns, it gives you columns, and you can also do win and loss charts. It won't work on mine because I'm working with dates. It won't work so much on mine, but those are what you get in the quick analysis tool to make your data easier to analyze. Tip number 11 is removing duplicates. You usually use remove duplicates when you don't want the same amount or the same thing over and over again on your list. Removing duplicates works well on names when you don't want the same name again and again, or it might even work on numbers or dates. First off, you select where you want the duplicates to be removed. I will be selecting this whole list, and then you can go to data and click on remove duplicates, but I don't have it over here, so you can just search it up on the top. I get remove duplicates. Now it says it's ticked both of them, and I want the duplicates to be removed in both of them, as the name and the amount are attached, and it has the exact same thing over again. So I click OK, and it says that it's removed 4 duplicate values and all the duplicates are removed. Now we can do the same thing again. So I'll highlight my thing, and I'll go remove duplicates. But this time the only change I'm going to make is I will take out the duplicates in the names, so untick it, and you've even got options like unselect all or select all. There's no point of unselecting it, otherwise it won't do anything to remove the duplicates. But I don't want my names to have, I want my names to have duplicates in it, but I don't want my amount to have duplicates in it. So I will just take the amount, remove the duplicates in both of them as I have selected both of it, and both of them are linked. Trick number 12 is the paste special option. Paste special is useful if you have to copy formulas in the data. And over here I have percentages. So what I can do is highlight what I want, right click, click on copy, find a new location, so I'll just do it down here, right click again, and then go paste special. There is an arrow and it just basically gives you the format, so how you want it to look like. But we can just click on paste special, and since we have values, we just click on values because we want to make the percent into decimals. Go OK, and over here it makes it into decimals. Now there is also many other options we have, and one interesting option is column width. So if we click on column width and you press OK, it gives you the exact same width of the column as we have over here. Trick number 13 is inserting images into charts. It's good to insert images into charts if you want to represent your data creatively, or if you just wanted to make it more visually appealing. So to do this, first we need to make a chart. And for this, I'll be using the quick analysis tool. So I select my data and go to the quick analysis button, go to charts, and it's already made some charts for me over here. I'm just going to go with a simple clustered chart, and then I go to a bar, and I click at least a couple of times so that this can come out, format data point. And then out of these 3 options, you click on this fill in line, fill, and in here it says picture or texture fill. So I'll click on that and I'll go insert. And you can insert from a file, you can insert from stock images, online pictures, or from icons. I have some pictures saved in my laptop for this, so I'll go from file. And over here I have images that are the right match for the fruits that we have. So the first one was plum, so I'll just go there. And you can't really adjust the thing because it's meant to be like that. And when you click on picture or texture fill, again it will come with the same image, and if you want to change it, then you go back to insert, go from file again. Next one was the mango, so the mango picture. Next one, not the mango, change the insert. It was banana. Last one is kiwi fruit. Insert from file again. There, and now you've got a really nice chart representing the different fruit and the amount. Trick number 14 is how to insert screenshots into an Excel spreadsheet. Inserting a screenshot can be useful as if you want to screenshot a graph or a picture chart from your email or somewhere else like on Google Images and you're not able to save it, then it's useful to take a screenshot of it, and you can use it as visual representation, and it will be on one screen and in one window. What you will need to do to insert a screenshot is go to the Insert tab at the top, go to Illustrations, click on the little arrow, and don't go to Pictures, go to Screenshot, and then you will be able to find screenshots, and it will be laid out as an image, and all you need to do is just make it smaller and add it onto your page, and that is how you insert a screenshot. Tip number 15 is one of the easiest, but a lot of people may not know it. It's how to use the control arrow keys to make jobs easier in Excel. When you press the control and the north, south, east, west arrow keys, it takes you to the different ends of your spreadsheet, which makes it much easier to find than pressing tab or keep pressing the bottom arrow key so many times. You can just go control right arrow key. First you have to select it, and then you go control right arrow key, which take you to the end of your sheet. And if you want to go down, you go control bottom arrow key, and it takes you right to the bottom of your list. Control top arrow key right to the top of your list, and then control left arrow key back to the start. Another additional quick tip that I'm adding in is selecting. Not many people do this, but I do this all the time. So to select a whole row, I press down on Shift and Control, and I do the right arrow key. So and it selects the whole thing. And if I want to select the rest of it, then I just go do it again, Shift, Control, and the bottom arrow key, and it will select everything. And also, if you are willing to select just a few, then you just click on Shift, right arrow key, and you can just select how much you want, and then Shift bottom arrow key, and then it will slowly take you to each one. Since I still have time, my last tip is going to be on how freeze panes works. Freeze panes is used to lock more than one row or column, or it's used to lock just rows and columns at the same time. So how freeze panes works is at the top bar you go to view, and in view it has freeze panes next to arrange all. And you click on freeze panes and it's got options. I'll be showing you all of them. The first option is just freeze panes. So what happens when you just freeze panes is it only freezes the first bit, and it keeps rows and columns visible while the rest of the worksheet scrolls. Yeah, it's based on the current selection. So I have it's just on here. So now the first bit of the data is frozen, and the rest of it's I'm being able to scroll through. And I can scroll through this way, scroll back, and you go up. And if you want to unfreeze the panes, you go back into freeze panes, and the top button is the unfreeze, so it will unfreeze it. And now if you come down, it's normal. The next one is freeze top row. Now when you're using freeze panes, it either specifies rows or columns visible when you scroll. And a line underneath the row, so when you click freeze top row, the line underneath the row, it indicates that the row is frozen. So it was more visible when we did the freeze panes, did the only freeze panes, but this one is not so visible, but it's just a faint line. But now, as you can see, the top row moves along as we scroll through, whereas if that wasn't there, if you hadn't noticed, the first row wouldn't be there and we would just be scrolling like that. And the last one of the three is freeze first column. So columns are this way, and when we click freeze first column, it's obviously going to freeze this one. And if you saw that there was a line that shot through in the middle, which indicates that the line is frozen. And when we move this way, then as you can see, the ID row is moving along. And when we go down, the ID line is still there, and as you can see, the line is just darker, so that we know that it's frozen. And that comes to the end of the top 15 tips and tricks in Excel. As I mentioned in the start, I would be giving the link to my dataset underneath resources. Here it is, the police shootings data from 2015 is from kaggle.com, and so if you need anything else, you can go to kaggle.com. Before you leave, it will be great if you could go to this link and fill out the evaluation survey and give me your feedback. Also, if you would like to become a Microsoft research participant, then please go check out this link over here. And thank you so much for attending. And thank you to Microsoft, Some Product, MVP, and most of all Excel Virtually Global 2020 for giving me this opportunity. And thank you to you all for listening to me. If you want to contact me, please, that's my email, so you can email me. And please subscribe to my channel once again. It's called NZ Tech Girl, and if you want, you can follow me on my Instagram. Thank you guys so much.